Hi, this is Muriwaya Dele. You're listening to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast.
Yes, welcome back, Looney listeners. You are listening to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. This is episode 295, and we are live streaming the two high priests of Khonshu, Rebecca and Ray. Rebecca, hello, hello.
Hi.
All the way from Tahiti.
That's what happens when I don't wear a t-shirt. We all freak out a little bit.
No, but you're looking very kind of relaxed, and as I hear, a lot cooler. So that's really
Lots
good.
cooler, yeah.
Yes, and Loonies, welcome. As I mentioned, this is live stream, so we do have a video up and running. So just a little disclaimer: any references to visuals will be on that, but you can go check us out on all the social platforms. What we have tonight, anywhere you are, is a Moonshine. It is Moon Knight Black, White, and Blood, issue 3. So this should be really, really fun. Stories by Erica Schultz, Jim Zub, and Ann Nocenti. And yeah, Rebecca, so a huge welcome back. I mean, we were only here last week to do a new comic book. Now we're here again. This is just the life of a Moon Knight fan these days.
Right? It's just like, it's getting, it's almost, it's quite, because like come Halloween, it's going to go crazier.
Yes.
I guess that's our news for the week, is that we have some crazy.
We'll get into that. Yeah, absolutely. We've got a little bit of white noise, a bit of news. Before any of that, of course, a big thank you to all our patroonies. Thank you so much, as well as our principal sponsors, Drew Toombs, Daniel Doing, Frank the Think Tank, Odin's Sword, CLZ Comics, and Dreamland Comics from Schoenberg, Illinois. So, yeah, Rebecca, as you mentioned, a bit of white noise, a bit of moony news. Halloween, we've got announced... Crypt of Shadows. It's a one-shot.
We have no idea. I mean, it sounds like it's more of a little anthology like these, because there's a lot of writers involved. So I think when we first saw the cover, we were like, oh, they're all going to team up. It's got both werewolves by night, Blade's daughter, Moon Knight, Elsa Bloodstone, Wolverine. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, and somebody holding a candle, and no one's entirely certain who that is.
Yeah. It looks really, really cool. It got plenty of hits on our social media, and of course, when it had been kind of broadcast out there, a lot of people are chomping at the bits.
Everyone, because I think initially because we thought it would be a team, but I think now it's going to be, because if you look at the list of writers, there's quite a lot. It includes, but one of them's Al Ewing, so that's exciting. I've got my fingers crossed he'll be on Moon Knight, but you never know.
Yes.
Because I'd love to see Al have a crack at Moon Knight.
I mean, the cover looks really good. I mean, I'm not sure.
Great.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the art. Do you know the art inside? Is
not off the top of my head. I guess it's I guess it's more than one again. Let's see if I can find it. Crypt of Shadows. I think it was actually on the Marvel site now.
Okay.
Crypt of Shadows.
Crypt of Shadows. Yeah.
It looks. Second.
Just looks really good. I mean, like we got
a terrifying stories. Man Thing is the other one we missed. So Chris Cooper is going to come back and do a story featuring Morbius and Victoria Montesi, which I believe was Marvel's first lesbian character. Maybe is that? I might be wrong. I think I don't know. So joining him with spine-chilling tales of their own will be Al Ewing, Danny Law, who I would bet is doing Werewolf by Night, Rebecca Rowanhorse, Adam Warren, Chris Condon, Karen Darbo, Jeff Shaw, and Ibrahim Mustafa, and more.
Oh, Ibrahim Mustafa. We know
Yeah.
him
Yeah, we
from
do.
Marvel Comics Presents. I think he did that
Yeah.
work with Benjamin Percy, which a lot of loonies loved. So
Yeah,
we
I
get to
thought that
see
was great. Oh, the cover's Lionel Francis Yu.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
of course it is. Yeah, I've got the visual now of Elsa and Wolverine. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very Lionel Yu. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, so loonies, a lot of excitement happening there on the comic front. Of course, also as well, a little reminder I saw on our group page, Rebecca. Next week, we won't be covering it because it's like a kind of cameo.
We might cover it at some point.
Yes, we mentioned about bundling it together, right?
Yeah, because like now, I think Jed said, well, let's talk about it.
Yes. So Jed tweeted as well. This don't forget next week is Iron Cat issue 2, but also issue 5 of Strange. We get Shadow Knight, aka
issue 4, right?
Issue 4, sorry.
Issue 4.
Aka Randall Spectre, which we broke in our White Noise, ages ago because it was released. But that's exciting.
But I think issue 5 has Markin.
That's right.
I think Jed said in that interview. So maybe we'll bundle those two together.
And I saw on your Discord comment, Rebecca, you said, "In Jed we trust," and certainly.
I don't think I said that, but like
you didn't. I thought that was okay.
No, but I'm glad someone did because yes, in Jed we do trust.
Yes, and I'm gonna have to pick it up. I've been thinking of picking up Strange anyway. Like it's been people have been saying it's really good.
But I have too much right now, and there are too many Moon Knight issues, and also like next issue of Avengers Forever. Next issue of Avengers Forever has Thor as Iron Fist.
Wow!
So
are you gonna cover that on?
I don't know. I guess that'll be a sort of if we're looking for something. I've elected to buy it, so I'm the test case. And I'll let the guys know because it's multiversal. So like they've got like but this story is going to be about Thor getting the Iron Fist. So I thought I'd test it. So there's just a lot of like comics coming out at the moment, and we've also got the Moon Knight annual. We've also got Moon Knight's and Ms. Marvel coming up. That's another October one. So like we're just having this like, I mean, it's great, it's amazing, but I don't think there's a month between now and October where there isn't kind of 2 Moon Knight appearances per month, which is crazy how good that is. Like
what world are we living in, Rebecca, when this
we would never have predicted this one when we started with the Lemire run. Doing the podcast.
Exactly. Well, I got reminded, and I have it now as my avatar. A shout out to Brian Biggie from Inner Demons, a Ghost Rider podcast. He put onto me the fact that you can have an avatar of Moon Knight in Disney Plus. The It's like, who would have thought that you can actually have Moon Knight?
I mean, look, I've still got Grogu because that would be hard to move from. But
well, no, that's fair enough. I can.
Oh, let's see. Sorry, I've got a.
Yeah, who's? Oh, that's Mario. I see. So Mario has mentioned that was Mario saying, "In Jed we trust." Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I saw the comment and smiled and nodded, but yeah. I wasn't going to pretend it was me.
I'm just thinking off the top of my head, the other bits of news, because things kind of trickle in, right? And I can't remember if we covered it in our last episode, Rebecca, but there were, are they emojis or something? They're little plush toys.
Yeah, they've made little plush toys of the Twitter icons for like the little emojis they did for the show, which is cute. So they're on sale at San Diego Comic-Con, which is today, and the first day of it's today. And who knows? I mean, like I think the Marvel Next Big Thing panel is Saturday, so there may be some more news then.
Yeah, I've already subscribed to the YouTube, the Marvel San Diego.
Oh, you love watching that. I'm terrible at watching YouTube. Yeah, but you're really good because you submit questions and everything.
Oh,
do you?
yeah.
I know that's
the first time I did, but I just like having it on in the background when I can.
No, I'm really bad at getting distracted while at work, and then I'm just sleeping all the time. But no, so I mean, like, if I had the energy, I would also do it because it's very entertaining.
It's
And
I mean,
I do like getting psyched up for like Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And then we have D23 in September. And one of my friends who's going has promised to text me every single thing that they announce for Marvel.
Wow. Well,
as it happens. So, you know.
I was about to ask, do you think there'll be like any big announcements at San Diego for Marvel?
Who knows? Well, they've got a Hall H panel, I think, for the TV and film. But like, I think people, because D23 is only in September, and that's like the big Disney one.
Yeah.
So
probably...
I think what's most likely to happen is we'll get things that we already know about at Comic-Con, but like more about them. Like we might get the Black Panther trailer. We might get Werewolf by Night officially announced and name, or a bit more about it. Maybe a trailer for that. And then maybe a few hints about some of the big films, like, you know, when you'll see X next, and whereas I think D23 they might reveal the Phase 5, like this is what we're gonna do. Hopefully we'll then know if there's plans for Moon Knight. So
oh my gosh, that would be so cool. So that's in September. Keep your eyes and ears peeled, loonies. That's certainly something worth checking out. No, that's great. I'll try to put, you know, this white noise in the show notes as I remembered. But Cryptic Shadows, as you said, Rebecca, and the emojis, there are lots of like Loki, of course, Moon Knight, Black Panther, I think, and WandaVision, that sort of thing. So you can get them for, I think, $16 US.
Oh, that's not too bad. It's a little bit of a con, but
So yep, and San Diego. That's going to be exciting. Any other? Any
that's
other
all
news?
I can think of.
I think so as well. Oh, that was what I was going to say. Sorry, Rebecca, you're talking about we always have a cat interruption. For the first time, Flippy is with me here.
Yay!
He's pushing over some of Finn's toys, so he's still out of the picture. But
you mean his toys? His toys.
Oh, his toys. His toys.
I don't know where he's asleep somewhere. He was on me just before we started.
He'll probably make an appearance before the end for sure. One of the other things, that's right, Rebecca, please indulge me. You mentioned World of Wakanda. I think it's been announced for next year, a Submariner Namor series, comic book series, limited. I think it's
No, it has. Yeah.
So I mean. Oh, okay. Right. I didn't know. You know more than I do. But that's exciting.
I pay attention to Namor.
I mean, it makes sense. It's obviously the secret's out. He's going to be in World of Wakanda. So Marvel, jumping on that.
You're right. That's another one that I have to buy.
Well, look, with Namor, I don't think it will. I know it's terrible to say, but I don't think it will last long. Maybe 10 to 12 issues, I think.
No, I think it's only a mini.
Oh, it's a mini, is it?
I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Have a quick look.
To be really honest, Rebecca, I don't mind these mini series.
I actually quite like them. Actually,
me too. It allows...
it's 5 issues. It's 5 issues.
Oh, perfect. Well, that's going to be on the standing order. Don't worry. Don't you worry, Marvel. Scotty from Kings, if you're listening, please add that on. Well, if there's no more news, Rebecca, shall we get straight into our moonshine? Let's have some moonshine. Yes, just back in time, Rebecca. Awesome. That's that worked really well. Anyway, loonies, we are here, of course, to review the latest and greatest from the Moon Knight comics, available out now. Thank you, Khonshu. Is Moon Knight Black, White, and Blood issue 3, released, of course, July the 20th, 2022 this year. We have the first story writer Erica Schultz and penciler David Lopez. Actually, I didn't realize it was David Lopez when I was looking at it. Anyway, story 2, writer Jim Zub with the penciler. I should have given this name to you, Rebecca. Jabril Morissette Fan. It's not too bad. And story 3, Ann Nocenti with penciler Stefano Raphael. And so we got cover art by Frank Cho and a variant cover by Nico Klein, which is also, I think, in a Virgin cover format. So, Rebecca, just putting up the covers so far. So this is the Frank Cho. I would never have known that was Frank Cho.
No, I wouldn't have guessed that was him either. You can kind of tell by the clean lines. But
the clean lines.
Yeah.
But really, really quite nice. We've used that as a backdrop for this video. And if this works, does that work? Yes. Nico Klein, his one as well. Rebecca, have you got both or one?
I just went with Nick Klein's.
Oh, you have? You went for this one? Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a nice one, I must say.
I love how you're always surprised by my choices.
I don't know. I guess by default, I think just get the regular cover.
Yeah. No, I still assume that the Treasury edition will have all the covers in, which is why I haven't gone like too crazy for them.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cover. So it's got
we've had a run of they've got most of them have been really, really nice. So.
Yeah, there's actually been runs of. I mean, unfortunately, I haven't been keeping track of it with the Jed McKay run. There've been I've been to my LCS and I see the variant covers of issue 12 and 13. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that they had them. Maybe I haven't been paying attention, but So, listeners who may be listening, just a quick audio. A visual description. So Frank Cho, predominantly red, Moon Knight on a moon, which kind of makes sense considering the Ann Nocenti run and the Nocenti story. And Nico Klein, Moon Knight, really cool one. Just on a chimney stack with some pigeons. I know it sounds silly, but him holding some crescent darts and a blood kind of crescent moon behind him. So pretty cool. As always, for these new issues, it's available in floppy format, but also in digital as well. So you can get that from Marvel or from, I'm assuming, Kindle. Have you dabbled in Comixology again ever, Rebecca?
Not really, a little bit, but not hugely.
I've kind of gone off it ever since they amalgamated.
Barely as as briefly as I have to.
Yeah, I mean, I just go straight to the Marvel app to get stuff and. Just so anyway, we do have I haven't been able to write a synopsis for these 3 stories, but we have a solicit synopsis, Rebecca. Would you be so kind? Let me just cue up the music. Would you be so kind as to give us the bare bones for just these?
Solicit, you ready?
Yep.
A trio of additional tales of moonlight and madness brought you in glorious black white thread from some of Marvel's most talented creators. A team of heisters flagged down the wrong taxi, Jake Lockley's, in a story by Erica Schultz and David Lopez. Jim Zub and Jabril Morissette Fan pit the Midnight Missionary against a sinister cult, and Ann Nocenti and Stefano Raphael blast the Silver Crusader toward the moon itself in a caper situated aboard a rocket launch. All wrapped up in an elegant cover by Frank Cho.
Yeah, so really, in a huge nutshell, that is the gist of this issue. 3 disparate stories. Rebecca. So it will be interesting to get your take on how this works holistically and as an anthology, and also how you liked it, just in general. We just got a quick message
just
here.
Looking, neither of us have scored it.
No. I think it's Mario has said the Comixology web reader has improved a bit. Oh, okay, that's good.
I've heard they've done some changes. I've not checked it out.
I'll check it when they get more kinks out, and it's a lot better. But just happy with the Marvel app and the DC app, dare I say. And Valiant, what? Yeah, I guess I don't even get Valiant in digital, so that's okay.
I don't really need to. I got all of Valiant, and then I don't know. I don't know if I haven't really bought as much of their new stuff.
Oh, you haven't? I've got everything except for I'd really love to get Archer and Armstrong again.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, money funds. So I've just gone for what have I gone for? Shadow Man and what's the EXO? I can't remember. Harbinger as well. Harbinger.
Oh yeah.
So listeners, sorry, before I get even more sidetracked, if you haven't listened before, what Rebecca and I will do is that we'll go through, and my gosh, Rebecca, at least you've done the homework. We'll go through some aspects of, we'll just bounce around from 3 of the stories. Rebecca, I think that probably works best.
Yeah.
We'll key moments, and then we'll just dive into anything to do with writing, art, themes, characterizations, or references to the runs. So the world is our oyster, Rebecca. First pick, what would you like to kind of focus on?
Okay, so the first thing that stood out to me, because we never lead with art generally, is that I liked all the art, apart from a few quibbles. Like I didn't really like the Moonlight smirk in this first story.
Yes. Yep.
I found that slightly it reminded me of one of the Deadpool ones. Was it Madman?
Oh, Madman. Yeah. Oh no, Madcap, was it?
Madcap. Yeah, reminded me of that. I didn't like that so much. But generally I liked all the art.
Yeah.
And there was some really interesting. The second one has the most interesting art, I think, in terms of paneling and things that
that's not it.
Sorry, I'm good. You told me to go all over the place. So
absolutely.
There's some really like split like that one. So that's a good example of like how the panels are being used to tell the
art
story and bring in some action. So there's a lot more red in this issue, generally, across all 3.
Yeah,
less in the third one, but like there's just I don't know why. It just seemed like I get a lot less in the third one. But the first 2 seemed a lot of red, which is still within the remit. Although the first one's almost orange rather than red, which put me off a little bit. A lot of orange. Yeah. And also, my slight criticism of the first one, if you're going to have bank robbers dressed up as Spider-Man and Daredevil, why is your third one not Deadpool? And then you've got Team Red.
That is very true. I like
that it's Black Widow, I assume.
Yeah.
Black Widow.
Yes.
But
you're right.
When I went back and reread it, I was like, why is it not like Deadpool? And then you've got this like
red.
But
that's very true.
It's not really a criticism, it's just a opportunity that I don't think was fully grabbed.
I had a look at it as well, and as I was reading it, Daredevil and Spider-Man were apparent, and then I kind of looked back and said, oh yeah, that's Black Widow. And then I thought immediately, oh okay, I see Erica Schultz's must be looking at like a street level, because Moon Knight's street level. But then again, Deadpool fits right into that as well. I'm not too sure. I did like how the red was used in the first one. That was more noticeable for me, I guess, in the fact that mostly Jake Lockley's tail lights or the brake lights at the back, I thought that was really cool. There are a few examples of them kind of pushing the boundary of what they can do, similar to the second story of issue 1. You know how, as you said, you get the oranges and you get a bit more of a hue of a red. But I love the art for this as well, and I thought. I didn't mind too much the Moon Knight smirk. I loved the idea.
The only thing that I felt a little bit like I don't love it, but overall that's such a small. That's only shown in like 2 or 3 panels. It's nothing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought if absolutely nitpicking here, and this is a little quibble. I thought if we go back to the first bit here, it sets the tone. Like one of the robbers actually kills one of the security guards, like blam, and you see kind of the blood, of course. then I thought, like, why are they persevering with this taxi driver that's being such a cheeky bugger to them? You know,
Yeah.
wouldn't they just shoot him and kick him out of the cab and off they
I
go?
mean, possibly. It's a fun idea though. Like, what
Yeah.
if a bunch
It
of
is.
criminals...
Oh, it is.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
such a great one-line pitch. It's like, what if a bunch of criminals jumped in
Yeah.
Luckley's cab
Oh, yeah.
to get away? You know,
Yeah, the concept far outweighs, you know, the little quibble.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
But yeah, it is a very nifty idea, and we don't often get Jake Lockley centric kind of
No,
stories.
and it's kind of fun. It's, you get the reference to Gina's, you know. He offers them to stop and have a bite to eat, which, again, very strange. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, obviously, my biggest quibble with it is the dialogue with Moon Knight and Jake, and like, I find that quite weird, considering now we're so used to the run, like with Jed's run, where Moon Knight isn't that sort of voice in your head. Whether it's an alter or they're trying to, I don't know what else they could be trying to show, but like, so it's weird to me that suddenly, but it, you know, I understand, like, you know, these are all anthology stories. I wouldn't necessarily want it in the main run, but
yeah, and I think it probably the idea lasted. I mean, the length of the story was pretty much it exhausted that idea. Like, you couldn't really go any further with it. It was a nice, quick little idea and worked really well in this format. And actually, I think it was probably my favorite.
It was a good use of the format, which they've not all been.
Yeah, right. Because we saw in issue 1, like, it was almost as if Hickman had a whole saga planned out.
Yeah, like, Hickman's going to be at the Marvel's next big thing panel, so maybe he does.
One loony, please ask him if anyone's there. Yeah, but yeah, I thought this was really cool. The premise is obviously Jake takes another little. This is absolutely a micro quibble. Lack of a moustache there, Rebecca. You know, would have loved to see a little
I mean, like, we
mozza.
all love the face, and he has it for later on, so that's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a pretty fun idea that don't stop till you reach the water, and him taking it very literally. We get Detective Flint, we get Gina's.
Yeah,
you know,
I kind of
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wasn't surprised at you know, like, take us to the water. It was no surprise that I was expecting him to drive them into the water.
Oh yeah,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? So I don't know whether that was meant to be like a surprise or reveal to us, but I think it was signposted at the beginning anyway. He goes, but beautiful art. If it's to look over here, just the backdrop that Lopez can do, like the Ferris wheel and the tower in the background.
It is very nice.
And I love the lines for the movement of the car, the speed, because it's all about the car speeding, right? So so that was pretty cool as well. I'm just thinking, it's not this one. There is a reference that yes, this is it actually. At the end, I know this is probably very slight. I wonder. I'm going to ask Erica, possibly, hopefully, about it. Detective Flint. Go, sure, Lockley. And I don't know if loonies remember, but in the Elders, in the Houston run, he kind of frames Flint like he always goes, sure, and like,
that's really sweet.
Yeah. So again, Erica Schultz puts that in here. Sure, Lockley. I only know that because we did that audio reproduction of the whole issue,
right?
And I did the voice of Flint, and the amount of times he says "sure" is actually a lot more noticeable when you pay attention to it. So yeah, I think maybe that might be a reference to the Houston run.
Cool.
But yeah, very, very cool indeed. So yeah, I mean, the second issue, I mean, I know I said we'd bounce around, but it's kind of easy to jump now here. I don't know what to think of this one. I mean, I do like Jim Zub's writing, you know, most, if not all the time. It was a strange concept for me. The takeaway, I guess, was adding to the lore in the fact that Khonshu has identified a future Moon Knight.
Which is weird, but not that weird, but I liked it, but I think it could have either done with a little bit longer or a bit like, I think it's an interesting idea. It's like you've got Moon Knight going off to save someone from a religious cult.
Yeah.
You're pitting faith against zealotry, which is obviously something Mark's has quite a lot of experience in faith and a little bit of experience with the zealotry, and it pits him with this conversation with Khonshu, who's beautifully drawn, about sort of, you know, like whether it's better to just, this girl has potential to be any gods, and isn't it better to sort of mark her as like Khonshu's, and Mark gets to make that choice. Not much of a choice, I guess, but it didn't 100% work for me as a story.
Yeah,
but I do like watching him rescue kids, and I think it's interesting to play with aspects of Moon Knight and Faith, which is essentially what Jed's doing in a different way, and this is taking it a different angle, like what happens when he comes up against enemy that's Faith.
I definitely, that was one of the themes, I guess, and the topics that Zub wanted to instill in there.
But I mean, look, we also know Khonshu's a manipulative dick, and he's being a manipulative dick. So I quite like that. It's just whether this is actually, whether Khonshu's lying and he just wants this girl for some other reason, or whether
true,
could be a future Moon Knight, you know.
I'm so gullible, Rebecca. See, I just took Khonshu's wand at face value. I didn't even consider that there might be some kind of sinister purpose underneath it. But I was already just dazzled at the fact that, so Moon Knight is actually meant to be part of this almost ritualistic thing of the current Avatar having to almost I don't know what you say, christen or bless the future Avatar with the moon thing.
It's a nice idea.
It's just, for me,
in a way,
similar.
But it's also a little bit creepy.
I mean, similar to you, I mean, nothing against it. I thought it was a solid story. It just didn't really peak for me at all. It kind of, you got dropped into the middle of the action, and the action just kind of went ahead, and there was a few reveals, but again, I think it may have suffered from the short format.
Really love the art. The
art's fantastic.
The art. I also thought it was a bit funny when, like, Khonshu had to sort of tell Mark he could go with the speed of the moonlight, and I'm like, well, what is the speed of moonlight? Number one, it's like the speed of light, surely.
It's speed of light, right? Yeah.
And number two, why wouldn't Mark? How would Mark forget that? So, but that just made me laugh a little bit. I mean, overall, I liked it. It wasn't like, oh, I'm hating this, and the art is gorgeous.
Oh no, me too.
But I did laugh at that bit as well, like Khonshu going, "Don't worry, you can go faster," and it's like, okay.
Well, that was another thing as well. I thought it was a nice introduction, or maybe a reminder that Moon Knight can showcase these superhuman feats, you know, if Khonshu allows him.
I mean, we have to remember this isn't necessarily being written for us.
Yes. True.
It doesn't hurt if there's a little bit more exposition.
But I mean, like, I found it, you know, quite exciting, the fact that his speed, say for instance, almost increased. So it's like, okay, so Khonshu can actually endow him with many things if he wanted to. Just showing a page here again. I think we get I mean, off the back of the first story where the robber just shoots a security guard, we get Moon Knight just like leaving these zealots to fall to their death. I thought that was pretty grisly. So no punches pulled here from for any Moon Knight story. Apart from that, so we've got as you're saying, the Faith versus Zealots. We have this young girl, Merwit. Very strange. Is that the first time you've heard that name, Rebecca? I've never heard of it before.
First name. There is a Hebrew name, Mirit.
Okay.
With W, but I've not heard it with the W. So.
Right. And the only other question I had for this is, again, sorry, just showing some panels here, the great showcase of Moon Knight's speed. Like, he jumps down from the ceiling or whatever, and as the knife is plunging to sacrifice this girl, he he gets there in time, so he's super fast. The question I had here, Rebecca, and maybe it's nothing. So this last panel at the end where he's carrying her, so that shows, did he die and get resurrected again? Was he stabbed in the back or impaled, or?
If he did, it was without a pause.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, like not as in like dying and like and being.
No. I understand that, but like, it was like literally. There's not within this story.
Yeah, or is it just? I mean,
maybe he just has blood on his cape. Maybe he got stabbed in the back but didn't die. I do really like how it ends with them first saying you're the good guy, and he goes,
yes,
yeah, that's what they tell me, and sometimes I
I
thought it was very nice.
Oh, it's very cool. It is very cool. It just seemed like we were asked to look at that wound on his back, and I was just trying to figure out what.
I don't know. I find that confusing, honestly. I also thought because I saw it and I thought I don't remember him getting stabbed.
Yeah,
that was my initial.
Yeah, my initial thing was, okay, was he?
And like you see his back when he's jumping. There's no stab wound there. So it has to happen in that final fight, and
it's a little shortcoming when it comes to that. They may not have kind of signposted that enough, I think, for us, because I was left confused. I just thought, oh, was he mortally wounded and we didn't know?
I just and if he was,
it could have been. It could have been this one here when the energy goes crackling out.
Yeah, that's the only time he gets hit.
But it's not
unless the knife follows that energy line, and it's not obvious.
It's not obvious. So yeah, maybe if they had kind of made it
although
it does bit more.
It does kill all of the priests, and it doesn't kill him. He says
so.
The nasty. He says, but I'll live." So maybe he does. Something happens there. That's definitely
maybe Khonshu protects him. Yeah, and he kind of like a normal person would have died, but he kind of survives it. So again, shows the supernatural, like the influence from Khonshu there. And as you say, Rebecca, a lot of red here. I think largely because of these guys in the robes.
I like that it's much darker. I do prefer this to the orange in the first one.
Yeah, I'd agree as well.
Yeah. You know, and it just suits the art as well.
Yeah, and I do like it when Moon Knight converses with Khonshu, you know, and he's kind of just at his ear.
Khonshu.
Yeah, it is very good. Yeah,
it's huge. Kaiju Khonshu again.
Kaiju, where is it? Where is it? Just flicking through here. There's a big reveal.
Next one. Oh, go back. Where did you miss it?
Where is it? I can't believe it. Anyway, we'll find. Is there? There's a huge one of him.
I'm doing the one where the huge one. It's where he's talking about putting
Seriously, have I missed a page?
I don't know. I think you may have done. Let's go.
No, there.
It's not there. Not
there.
It's the next one.
That's it.
You're missing a page.
I might be missing a page here.
Okay.
Anyway, I do remember there being a huge.
But he's like he's like huge, like room size.
Yeah, exactly. So the only other thing I thought reference-wise here, and again, it might be a stretch, Rebecca, but we got that really classic look of the Bill Sienkiewicz in Volume 1 of Moon Knight doing kind of almost like a spiral down, and he's fighting.
Spiral staircase for fighting. I hate walking on them. Love watching it.
Yes, it's funnily enough, the zealots here are into the coils, so the coils are eternal. But yeah, I think that was a nice little thing. I think also Benjamin Percy and Ibrahim Mustafa did something in the Marvel Comics Presents as well. So I think maybe that's a little callback. But yeah, a solid story. I still like. I like the first one more.
Yeah.
There we go. There it is.
There it is. Yeah.
Yes, there's a huge Khonshu. Sorry, podcast listeners, just flicking through the pages there, but there's a huge Khonshu. What did he say? Yesel. Yeah.
Vessel. You're a vessel. What are you
a vessel.
About?
Oh God, yeah, of course. Oh God. I only read this once.
Woken up.
So like a vessel. That's it.
Come
That's
listen
right.
to me rag on Ray for an hour.
And so again, the final story is like again a large departure. It reminded me immediately, Rebecca, of the Hickman run, and I almost when I started it thinking, is this meant to be a continuation of it? Only because it's like cosmic, right? It's
I think it's
weird.
one of the first. It's the first story of any of these anthologies so far that's had a separate color artist, Chris Sotomayor, and
Right.
separate letterer. He's Clay
Okay.
Pettit. I think all the others have always been done by the artist.
Okay.
So,
and
it's a
what
little
did you make?
interesting back there.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not well versed enough in lettering to. That's terrible.
I
know,
mean, I
but
think they've all done. I think
known
the
that.
others have done
Yeah.
decent jobs. So, like,
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But what were your impressions of astronauts? Sorry.
right. So the first time I read it,
Yeah.
I found it quite confusing and was a little bit lost.
Me
in it.
too.
And I don't know if it's because I was just. You're right. I had the sort of Hickman flashbacks. I just don't know. If I
Oh no, not
understand.
again.
Yeah. No, it's not like I hated it either, but it's just like it was just like you go from these stories you're expecting to this sudden, okay, what am I doing? And I read it again, and it's it's an interesting story. I can see again the elevator pitch for it, but it's not 100% successful for me. I do like the title, Astronauts. I love the uses of reds.
Yep.
And the art again, fantastic. Not
That's
entirely
cool.
sure moon-shaped air rockets and stuff would work aerodynamically.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit on the nose about billionaires going to the moon, and is
Fair enough.
Stephen a billionaire? I mean,
oh yeah, that's right. He's not that. I mean, well, who knows? They could just translate him. Who knows?
I mean, they could, but I don't think we've ever thought of him as that wealthy.
No.
Like, I really like the art in it. I think it's very good.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's
almost. I said, the elevator pitch of send Moon Knight to the moon as a sort of promo thing for one of these, and then he has to like stop someone mining it for. It's fine. I just.
Yeah. I feel it may have lost its edge because of the Hickman story first.
Maybe
if I had read this and go, wow, like Moon Knight in space, like that's cool.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't help but compare it to.
We do get the Jake moustache in the next. If we go to the amazing page that we're about to the next one.
That's when. Oh yeah, they record. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
That would, and it's such a
paneling, background, the use of the reds,
and change of style for those flashbacks. If you look at how that is compared to the action, like in the situation,
really
in situ,
like it. Yeah.
I like the fact, I'm not sure it's almost the Declan Shalvey, but I'm thinking it almost leans into the Cappuccio Moon Knight costume, which is
there's definitely when they start getting into with him trying to rescue what's going on. There's a definite suit that looks like Cappuccio.
Yeah,
I like that they lose the anti-gravs turned off, and so you get the everything floating around. That's cool. All the noodles.
And the noodles are red, like the whatever the spaghetti.
She's painting her nails.
I didn't notice that.
I don't understand why when she jumps, she's always doing these like crazy ballet jumps.
She must be. It is a bit. It's a bit strange. I will have to do a reread. I think
you will. I think you'll get more. I definitely got more out of it the second time. But then, and then he's flirting at the end. It's just like I don't know. It just seemed, it felt a bit like, does he love the moon? Does he have this? Like, we still haven't really defined that kind of like I think we've talked about whether the moon waxes and wanes his powers and stuff like that. And then played with that before in things, but they're talking about how he's gonna protect the moon. It's like I'm not sure that's part of his remit is protect the moon.
Yeah,
but I like seeing it being played on
Yeah.
So especially, and this is the perfect place to sort of play with it. But then that flirting was just like, it was number one, it was just bad flirting. But also it just kind of left me on a, all right, flirty Moon Knight, let's go.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I mean, although for all intents and purposes, it sounds logical, like Moon Knight, and he's got some sort of affiliation
That's
with
what
the
I'm
moon.
saying. Within this anthology series, this is the perfect place to play with that. I would not really like to see it come up all that often again.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity, isn't it, to kind of like really test the boundaries of what it means to be Moon Knight. But I think with this story in particular, Rebecca, and as you were saying, it does seem a bit weird because it is on like a cosmic scale. I guess seeing Moon Knight in a cosmic arena is strange because you see his affiliation with the moon via Khonshu, and so it tends to be more like, you know, Khonshu the deity and him being the representative of the moon. When Moon Knight actually comes in contact with literally the moon, it's a bit strange for me. It's like, he doesn't. But it makes sense.
I enjoyed it more the second time. So
yeah. Well, like I said, I'm going to have to read it the second time. And the flirting, if anything, Rebecca, hats off to the use of the red there with the blushing.
Yeah, no, that did make me laugh.
Was a little bit like different.
I mean, like, it's a really deep blush.
It is a deep blush. Yeah, I like how perceptive Moon Knight is. You know, he's kind of what is it? It's kind of like in poker where you kind of their tell. Yeah, so he's picked up a tell in that. But yeah, it was a strange tale. I'm not really sure what to make of it. I enjoyed it a lot more, dare I say, than the Hickman one. Only because
I found it easier to follow than the Hickman one.
Yes, and story wise, it seemed a lot more rounded.
Like the art and the paneling better, and it had the beginning, middle, and end.
Exactly. Yeah. So
But like I said, I think the Hickman one swung harder for something different.
It swung big time. He really rotated the shoulders there. The art is good. I don't know anything else. You mentioned it's weird balletic kind of poses. She's almost like, I love her. This is what I was going to talk about. So this page, art wise, it's just so inspired. I think the panels, it's weird, and it just, I know, I love it. I
don't know how you come up with it, but it's incredible.
No, and that I'm assuming is purely the artist.
Yeah,
like,
I imagine so. Yeah,
Ann Nocenti would have said, however, 6-7 panels to show this. Yeah. I'm going to show it like this, and it looks really good. And as you mentioned, reiterating, even the previous story as well, by Morissette Fan, the layouts were just really, I think, inspired. So
yeah, it's always fun to see people like play with it and do it successfully.
Some of the dialogue I thought from this was a little strange, like this one in particular, Moon Knight. You want to turn the moon into a gas station, a pit stop. The moon is not a pit stop. I don't know. I get the idea that he wants to mine the moon and kind of reap it. But
that's exactly what we're going for, I think. So.
Yeah, but I thought some of the dialogue just may have fallen a little flat there. But overall, I enjoyed it. As mentioned, 3 very different stories, fantastic art, I think, in all of them. So yeah, I mean, Rebecca, if you're willing, what would do you want me to go first, or do you want to write?
Yeah, no, you go first. Go on.
Okay, let me. I'm just gonna open
after
up
last week when I vastly outranked yours.
I might give this a good. I tell you, I think I still enjoyed this. I'll give this a 7. A 7 out of 10. I think I
think the same. I was toying with 6.5, but I think you're right. I did actually enjoy it. 7.
Oh yeah, exactly. So that's right. I was toying with 6.5, but I think it just had that little bit more to make the whole experience enjoyable. So I'll put that in there as well. 7 out of 10 just before I forget. So we both, Rebecca and I, both solid round, boy. Looney listeners. So yeah, I mean, please, if you haven't checked out this issue, please go grab it. It is a fun ride, and it's great to see. Just I think it's really starting to gain momentum, Rebecca. I mean, we had a kind of a slow start, I think, from issue 1, but issue 2 I absolutely loved, and issue 3 as well. We've got 3 different things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with any of that. We may as well, Rebecca, go into our segment, newly named quotation mark. It's our loony feedback. So Rebecca, we've got a couple of bits of feedback from our Facebook group. Shall we just take one each?
Yeah. Do you want to go first, or shall I?
If you don't mind, I'll go first. I'll leave because actually I haven't read these, so excited to hear. So this is from valued Petroni and all round Moon Knight aficionado Mario Di Giacomo, and Digicom says a bit of a mixed bag this week. Unlike previous issues, there weren't any graphic related problems this time, as every team delivered solid art. Kind of what we thought, Rebecca. So I'll focus on the story. The first tale, Wrong Turn, was amusing, but the voice of Moon Knight himself felt off. While Jake may be easygoing and quippy, Moon Knight himself usually isn't. And the last panel felt like a police squad style freeze frame for laughs. So Mario gives that one a 7 out of 10. On the other hand, the second, No Empty Sky, could only be a Moon Knight story, as it hinges on his relationship with Khonshu. If that was it, I'd give it an 8 out of 10, but I picked up some interesting subtext, specifically that Mark himself swears allegiance to an extra-dimensional power, and the last panel suggests a metaphorical stabbing in the back. So I'll give it an extra 5 for 8.5 out of 10. And the final entry, Astronauts, just doesn't work for me. The whole thing feels like a weird straw man attack on folks like Elon Musk, and Moon Knight barely serves a role other than to be a bit of a mouthpiece. I expected better from a veteran like Nocenti, 5.5 out of 10. That averages out to 7 out of 10. Overall, a bit of a disappointment. So, I mean, that's a shame, Mario, that it was disappointing for you. I mean,
I think they're really good points. I mean,
they are good points. Yeah. You know, I mean, 7 out of 10, Mario. Come on, we gave it 7 out of 10. That's good.
It's just we're used to high scoring so high, you know. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this one is from Lena. I think this one was probably my favorite issue of the series so far. Story 1. I love this one so much. This is what Jake should be, a no-nonsense New York cabbie who beats the crap out of the bad guys and has fun doing it. I much prefer this Jake over the ultra-violent backstabbing version of the Bemis run. Unfortunately, it seems that the MCU version is leaning more towards the latter. But hopefully that might change, or at least get fleshed out in a hopefully non-stigmatizing way if we get season 2. But anyway, this story was a ton of fun. It was also a good example of alters cooperating with each other. 10 out of 10. Interesting. Wow. Yeah. Cool. Story 2. I like this one a lot too, as an exploration of Moon Knight's relationship with Khonshu and his thoughts about fate. Moon Knight's reluctance to brand the girl as a potential future fist of Khonshu was definitely understandable, and it made it all the more heartbreaking that he was coerced into doing it anyway. This was a very thought-provoking and emotional story, while still having some awesome action as well. 9 out of 10.
Cool.
Story 3. I didn't like this one as much as the other two, but with us being huge sci-fi fans in our system, that probably influenced me to like this one maybe a bit more than it deserved. It was fun to see Moon Knight in space, even if it didn't make a whole lot of sense for his character. But hey, he's been on Mars before in the Secret Avengers run.
True.
The plot of the story was a bit hokey, but I like the art and the overall weirdness of it. 7.5 out of 10. So very successful for Lena.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Lena. And I think you encapsulated, at least in the latter part of your your comments about story 3, the weirdness, and yeah, the hokiness. I mean, but that's it. As Rebecca, as you say, with these anthologies, writers are afforded the ability to just go crazy and just try something different. So I really appreciate Nocenti for doing that as well. But thank you so much for your comments. Wow, so very different perspectives, but we love to hear from you, Loonies. So fantastic. It's not too late as well. Please send in your thoughts. There's a discussion thread on all our social platforms, on Twitter,
please do.
and
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, and let's just have a discussion about it. I'd love to know which ones you thought were better, which were your favorites, even actually branching out into the other 2 issues. Because I'm already thinking, Rebecca, of the Treasury edition. I'm already kind of thinking about all that. So let us know what your favorite ones are, and and what do you think of these kind of, as Rebecca puts it, like these big swings? These really bold ideas for Moon Knight. I find it quite fascinating.
Yeah, I think that it's really interesting, like what people have come to it and written.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, I don't know what I expected going into it, but it's certainly not entirely what we got.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So there you go, Loonies. A nice, compact little discussion with your high priests of Khonshu, Rebecca. I mean, as always, it's awesome fun, like chatting with you about these. As we always say, I can't believe that we just get more and more material. We will be collating, as you say, the likes of Strange and maybe Cryptid Shadow. Maybe that's in October. Maybe we do that. Like,
I'll be on holiday. You can.
Yeah. I'll get Eve. It's her birthday in Halloween.
Yeah,
so I'll see what you think.
Amazing.
But yeah, I mean, maybe the likes of that, because it is Moon Knight, and God, we got Damage Control, Miss Marvel, all that sort of stuff. Plenty ahead, Loonies.
Yeah, wow.
Plenty ahead. So yeah, and a big thank you to all the Loonies that did join in this live broadcast as well. Mario, always appreciate your comments as well. And just a little announcement as well. I did reach out to Carpe DM Dave, Looney Dave, who won our quotation mark Looney feedback thing. We'll get your prize. It will be coming. It is a bit late, but hopefully in the next week and a half or so, it should be coming your way. Next phase, Rebecca, is 296. Now, this has come as a surprise for me because I was just doing the moon phases today, just scheduling. It is a new moon next week, Loonies, which means it is an Isla Ra session. We haven't done this in ages. So I have approached someone, a Patruni, to see if they're keen to do an Isla Ra session. It might this episode comes out on a Wednesday or Thursday, depending where you are. So the next episode might be a little bit longer, just because need a little bit more time to post production. Do that stuff, and also there are 4 Desert Island books to read. So
it's more homework for Ray.
It's more homework, but I love it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get someone for the Isla Ra session. I know there are a couple of people who are pretty keen. It's all to do with scheduling, whether we get that happening or not. So hopefully we can, but please keep an eye out for that. As always, a little flash here. A big thank you to our Patroonies, and we do have plenty of them. So a huge thank you, executive producers and co-producers of the show. A big thanks to Odin, Daniel, Drew, Justin, Frank, Derek, Kyle, Wayne, Jordan, Josh, James, Anthony, Russell, Michael, Mario, Gavin, Matthew, and Jonathan. Jonathan's upset the last member. Oh my gosh,
the newest member.
Newest, sorry. And I'm sorry, I'm just looking some of these. Look, I've just some of the names have dropped off. I'll have to fix that. Sorry. But a big thank you. Sorry, missing out there, Matthew and Jonathan. A big shout out to you guys. Also, as well, you can contact us on email, feedback@itkmoonnight.com. We've got a website, itkmoonnight.com. We're also on Facebook, and our Twitter handle, Instagram, is just check out at itkmoonnight.com. Also, as well, a big thank you to our principal sponsors, of course, Frank Dukes. If you check out Moonlight Visions with a Z on Instagram, Odin Sword's Drinking Marvel podcast. He does a podcast with his brother. Daniel Doing's Fringe Night. Go support that on patreon.com/Fringe Night 27. And Drew Toombs with his music on soundcloud.com/Toombs with a Z or lurkmusic with a CK.bandcamp.com. And CLZ Comics doing great stuff. I love updating my database. Check out collectors.com as well as Dreamland Comics. Use the code MOON and get 20% off their stuff. And finally, we are part of the collective. Rebecca does fantastic work over at Rebecca. I've queued up Batman and Two-Face.
Oh, have fun with that.
So I will be listening intently. Any disparaging remarks.
Just recorded the new one today. So.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. We'll look forward to that too as well. But check out Rebecca on other podcasts such as the DCAU podcast and Last Sons of and Sons of the Dragon, Immortal Iron Fist podcast. So yes. So Loonies, with that, sorry, I think I hear Finn. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
With that,
someone.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, may Khonshu watch over the denizens of the night.
Yeah.
Catch you later.
Everyone. Bye.
See ya.